when it all started and how it became a race of two.
On the 9th of March 2020, Msambweni Member of Parliament Suleiman Dori died at Aga Khan Hospital in Mombasa County, where he was receiving a cancer treatment. And according to the Constitution, whenever a seat falls vacant in the office of the Member of the National Assembly under Article 97(1)(c), the Speaker shall, within 21 days of the occurrence of the vacancy, give notice in writing of the vacancy. Suleiman Dori, the 42-year-old legislator, joined politics in 2013 and on the Msambweni seat on the Orange Democratic Movement ticket. He was then re-elected in an ODM ticket in the 2017 general elections. The Msambweni seat was therefore one of ODM's strongholds, a seat they were keen to recapture.
One of the things that we should be asking ourselves is, where did ODM go wrong to be able to lose the Msambweni parliamentary seat? Because as you rightfully said, and Kenya has perennially been mapped and zoned off for to various political parties, and the coast region, the wider coast region, actually has been over time associated with Raila Odinga.
In the run-up to the by-elections, a scuffle ensured at the Jubilee headquarters between the Deputy President William Ruto and the Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju. Ruto accused Tuju of making arbitrary decisions by not fielding a candidate in the Msambweni, and a day later he would go support Fazul Bada for the seat. Tuju would go ahead and warn Ruto against stepping at the Jubilee headquarters.
Had a different view on the party fielding a candidate in Msambweni. I was of a different view. Tuna candidate kule Msambweni. Sasa tutajipanga tu na yule mwenye wale watakuwa huko.
Deputy party leader, as a self-declared presidential candidate of 2022, will not be allowed to use the party headquarters.
The DP left Jubilee Party a long time ago. In my view, I don't think the Deputy President is keen to even associate or relate with the Jubilee Party.
There were words between ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and Malindi MP Aisha Jumo had a big part in the election of Faisal, who was an ODM member. Experts allude that was a big mistake for the ODM party.
That even before elections are counted, you say Giniwaseka, this thing we have already taken it, we have gone with it already. But that kind of communication presents the opportunity for your opponent to start thinking, what haven't we done that is making them very sure?
Chaos, near fist fights. This is a by-election that has turned two camps into fierce political enemies.
Still in matters politics, the Orange Democratic Movement has been accused of violence after yesterday's by-election in Msambweni and several wards around the country. In Dabaso ward in Kilifi County, Emmanuel Changawe, who lost his seat, was brutally injured by goons he alleges were ODM goons. This happened as Deputy President William Ruto's side seemed to have triumphed over the handshake candidates in several wards across the country. Namukene Samuel with this report.
Former Dabaso Ward member of County Assembly Emmanuel Changawa has accused the Orange Democratic Movement for transporting hired goons from Nairobi to intimidate him. The former ODM MCA, who moved to Movement for Democracy and Growth MDG after he failed during the ODM's nominations, and the ticket went to Emmanuel Karania, who defeated him with 138 votes.
Nimepigwa kiasi ya watu wanataka kutoa visu ili kunijeruhi. Nasema
nataka sana nishukuru wanadabaso kwa kunichagua niwe kiongozi wao. Na kitu ambacho nataka niwahakikishie wanadabaso, ile miradi yote ambayo ilikuwa imeanzishwa na Mheshimiwa Changawa, mimi nitaiomba na niifanye na niimalize vizuri.
This is not the first time ODM has been accused of violence during the campaigns, as they were accused yesterday of causing mayhem during the Msambweni by-election.
Hakuna lolote la maana nimejibiwa. Hakuna lolote. Hakuna uchaguzi umefanyika leo. Uchaguzi then hatuhitaji uchaguzi.
In other county ward elections, Tanga triumphed over the Kieleweke faction after Simon Wanyoike was declared the duly elected county ward representative for Lakeview, Nakuru County after defeating George Njoroge of the Jubilee Party. He garnered 1,451 votes.
And here excited, elated, happy to see the death of Jubilee. And we hope it continues in other upcoming by-elections.
The same happened in Murang'a County, Gaturi Ward, where Esther Mwihaki of People's Empowerment Party won against Rosemary Wakuthie, a Jubilee candidate. However, Samuel Otieno of ODM was declared the duly county ward assembly representative for Kisumu North, having garnered 4,566 votes. Namukana Samuel, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Namukane Samuel. All eyes are on Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko's impeachment motion that was tabled today at the Senate. Lawyers representing both sides of the divide have been submitting their evidence before the Senate. However, issues of lack of time have come up severally at the plenary, and after the evidence is tabled before the Senate, the senators who are currently serving as jury will vote in support or against the motion. I'll be bringing you this story shortly. Moving on, the just concluded Msambweni by-election has seen the country thrown into another political warfare between Uhuru Raila camp and that of Deputy President William Ruto. And Daniel Karaoke breaks it down. Take a look.
Deputy President William Ruto has come out to congratulate Faisal Bader, the independent candidate who won the Msambweni parliamentary by-election seat. Ruto, through his Twitter handle, has congratulated Boga, saying, and I quote, "Congratulations, my friend Faisal Bader. Your win cements our trust in God and the people. Democracy and people power have triumphed. Watu wa Msambweni, Mungu awabariki. To others, there is next time." End of quote.
Nimechukua nafasi hii congratulate Mheshimiwa Faisal kwa kushinda uchaguzi wa Msambweni, na namtakia kila laheri kwa kazi hii. Yeye ndio mbunge wetu kwa sasa, na pia nataka kuwashukuru wale waliopigia kura mimi.
Niwaambie sasa, hii mambo ya siasa na maneno ya siasa tumemaliza, na kuanzia sasa ni tushirikiane zaidi ili tuweze kufanya kazi.
Former Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama has congratulated Boga, saying that the by-election was not only for Msambweni but for the whole country, as it was targeting the political might of the Tanga and Kieleweke in the BBI and the 2022 general elections.
We've always said we want to tell those who have the instruments of power that your days are numbered. The hustler nation is awake.
Leaders allied to Deputy President have also expressed their joy for that historic win. In what seemed to be a reply to ODM party leader Raila Odinga's sentiments, outspoken Malindi Member of Parliament Aisha Jumwa has said that Bader's win symbolizes a downfall of the BBI reggae.
Raila is a proponent of BBI na yeye ndio mwenye BBI, na alikuja hapa Msambweni akasema hii Msambweni hii by election ni kwamba it's a test ya BBI. Boga akipita BBI imepita, Boga akianguka BBI imeanguka. Wakenya msijisumbue tena. Tumewapa jibu lile Raila alikuwa anataka ya kwamba Boga ameanguka Msambweni, BBI finito.
The parliamentary seat became vacant following the death of Suleiman Dori, who succumbed to cancer early this year. Majibu Kizao for Switch TV.
Thank you, Majibu Kitsao. Elsewhere, crime cases are on the rise in Nairobi's Kware area in Embakasi South constituency. The crimes are conducted by an unknown group who threaten residents during the night and steal from them and later throw them off a high cliff to the deep waters of an old quarry whose depth is unknown. Robert Omer visited the area and filed the following report.
An oblique aerial view gives the beauty of the site, but this beauty has been blurred by the dark activities around it for years now. Under this hyacinth is an ocean of ever-cold stagnant water of unknown depth. The site has remained barren for over 20 years now after quarrying ended and the road construction completed, but now its beauty is a threat.
Kuna vijana hapo lazima masaa fulani unaweza patikana na wao, kama hauna kutoanishe, kama uko nayo kutoanishe, kama hauna ama ubebe ujifanye kubishana na wao, wakutendee unyama na wakuje wakurusha hapa ndani.
The site has turned to a crime hotspot, and according to residents, nobody dares passing around this area past 7:30 p.m. for fear of their lives.
Kuna mama alitendewa unyama, akarepiwa na akakuja akarusha kwenye hili shimo.
Now the residents are calling upon both governments to embrace this dazzling look or divert it to other productive activities that will create employment activities whose effect would be creating jobs and reducing crime rates.
Gorofa ile tunajua ni kubwa sana hiyo. Akakaa ndani siku 6 ndio.
Waweke hata fence. Isibaki watu wanakufa hapa chini, tunapata kila mwaka maiti. Hata tupate changes kiasi kidogo hapo.
Hizi vitu zikitolewa, watu wengine wamekuwa hizo wanatafuta watu wao, na labda vile hapo na niko hivi, labda mtu wako hapa na watu wajui mahali wanaweza pata mtu wao.
As beautiful as it may seem, the number of people who have lost their life in this beautiful but deadly site cannot be accounted for, even with fears rising that the number may increase if the government fails to take actions accordingly. For Switch TV, I'm Robert Ouma.
Thank you, Robert Ouma, for highlighting the menace at Embakasi South constituency. All eyes are on Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko's impeachment motion that was tabled today at the Senate. Lawyers representing both sides of the divide have been submitting their evidence before the Senate. However, issues of lack of time have come up severally at the plenary, and after the evidence is tabled before the Senate, the senators who are currently serving as jury will vote in support or against the motion. Take a look.
On 3rd of December, the Nairobi County Assembly unanimously voted to impeach Nairobi County Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko. And today, in a 4-hour on-camera session, the governor has faced 67 senators after the Senate Majority Leader Samuel Pogisho declined to give a notice of motion for the formation of 11 members to investigate allegations against him. Leading the Assembly's legal team was Mr. Ndegwa Njiru, a lawyer who gained fame representing Kirinyaga Assembly against Governor Anne Waiguru before the Senate in June this year. Harrison Kinyanjui, an advocate of the High Court on the other end, was in defense of the governor. Presented today was the examination in chief of the evidence presented against Governor Sonko, later followed by cross-examination of the evidence presented. Sonko is expected to appear in person tomorrow in Senate, where the senators will be voting in support or against the ouster of Governor Sonko based on the evidence presented before them by the County Assembly. Sonko's impeachment is the only agenda before the House, after which senators will go to recess up to February 9th of 2021. David Kagina, Switch TV.
Thank you, David Kagina. A health facility aimed at giving surgical services and treatment to road accident victims as well as women with reproduction problems has been initiated by a team of doctors at Kenol Township of Murang'a County amid construction of a dual carriageway of Kenol-Marwa Highway. According to Mikuyu Traffic Commander Solomon Jaguna, traffic police officers have been encountering challenges when attending to those left with injuries.
The hospital that is set to be departmentalized will have a specialist in each set department to ease congestion and avoid delayed medical assistance.
And we intend to have an ophthalmologist amongst us so that any surgical case is well handled in its right time.
We saw the need of having a facility that is unique, that will cater for our people who have surgical problems.
According to Cyrus Ruru Mwaura, who is a Kenol resident, the health facility will be a reprieve to patients who go many miles in search of surgical services, especially when they are involved in accidents.
Itasaidia kupunguza safari za watu wakiwa na majeraha ya accident. Manake hii barabara ya kutoka Keno kwenda Murang'a na kutoka Keno kwenda Sagana huwa na ajali nyingi sana za barabarani.
Statistics released by Mkuyu Traffic Department in Maragua constituency, 50 passengers and drivers have died along Kenol-Sagana Highway, 17 along Kenol-Murang'a Road, with over 70 others sustaining serious injuries. Emmanuel Terrer, Switch TV.
With Emmanuel Terrell's story, we now take a short commercial break. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more. Welcome back and thanks for keeping it Switch TV. We are live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, we are live as Switch TV News. Send in your feedback to our SMS line 111 444 and at Switch TV Kenya. Deputy President William Ruto has urged leaders not to use the Building Bridges initiative to divide Kenyans. He has asked leaders pushing for BBI to allow Kenyans to appraise the proposed amendments without threats and intimidation. Leaders allied to him at the same time asked for consensus at the coast as they continue to laud Msambweni elect Faisal Bader for winning against ODM's Omar Boga.
Deputy President William Ruto has proposed the need for public education on clauses in the BBI document instead of running a divisive yes-no campaign.
Maneno ingine yote, we can find a solution if we look hard enough as leaders. Hakuna haja ya kuweka chuki, hakuna haja ya kuweka mipaka ya kabila, ama mipaka ya siasa, ama kugawanya wananchi.
His allies have reiterated that there is need for a consensus in amending the constitution.
Tusikiza Wakenya wote, kwa sababu tukikosa kuwasikiza, kuna watu ambao pengine wataaibishwa na Wakenya wenyewe.
They have taken pride that the new win for his Msambweni candidate is a reflection of the support William Ruto has in the country.
Dalili ya 2022 ni Msambweni na imeshaanza kuonekana.
The deputy father endorsed CAS for Labour Patrick Ole Ntutu to take over from the Narok governor Samuel Tonai, citing that the family has been working closely with him since the formation of URP party. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Joan Kutung.
Thank you, Joan Kutunyi. Meanwhile, 10 patients have succumbed to COVID-19 today, bringing the cumulative fatalities to 1,614. 394 more people have tested positive for the virus from a sample size of 5,752 tested in the last 24 hours, bringing to 92,853 the number of confirmed positive cases in the country. From the cases, 367 are Kenyans, while 27 are foreigners. There are 424 recoveries from the disease. 303 are from the home-based care program, while 121 have been discharged from various hospitals. More 47 patients are separately on supplementary oxygen, out of whom 36 are in the general wards. 11 are in the high dependency unit. Moving on, there is need for students to pursue nutrition and dietetic courses due to the poor ration of the specialists to the number of Kenyans in need of the services. This is according to the CEO of Kenya Nutrition and Dietitians Institute, David Omondi Okeo. More than 870 specialists have today been licensed during the 6th online graduation ceremony.
This area is very critical, particularly in the management of disease, and they are among the many cadres of health professionals that are working very hard also in the curtailment and prevention of diseases like COVID, for example. So today we have about 871 nutritionists who are degree holders, certificate level, and also diploma, undergoing a public licensing award. And after this ceremony, we expect them to go outside there and serve the Kenyan public and provide services in nutrition and dietetics in the country. Now, as you know, nutrition and dietetics is very critical in the UHC program, that is Universal Health Coverage Program, and in the Agenda 4 of the President of the Republic of Kenya, nutrition falls within 2 pillars. You will find nutrition in food security, and nutrition pillar, and also in the universal health coverage. So we need to channel more nutritionists to support the preventive component of UHC, and also to join in the team that are working very hard at the curative level, particularly those who are undergoing clinical nutrition, to join in the management of diseases, both non-communicable and infectious. And one of the infectious diseases that is now we are battling with currently is COVID-19. And we have come up with various guidelines on management of COVID, which are nutrition specific.
time for business. Good evening and welcome. My name is Clifford Ndubi. Now, the management of the Kenya Airways has been accused by the Kenya Airlines Pilots Association of ignoring their complaints of inhumane mistreatment when flying the China route. The pilots have instructed those who do not wish to be tested blood samples for COVID-19 should forward their names to the chief pilot so that they can be scrapped off the route from tomorrow until further notice. The pilots have urged their members to be resilient and firm in the event of harassment, and any form of harassment will be dealt with legally. Now, away from that, the 400 acres of Phase 1 of the Konza Technopolis project has attracted over 40% uptake by investors. This comes at a time when infrastructure currently being undertaken by the government is set to be completed by end of 2021. At the same time, the project's anchor investor, Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, will begin work in earnest in early 2021 following identification of a contractor and approval. The graduate school will focus on science, technology, engineering and mathematics. This was revealed today morning during a networking breakfast organized by the Konza Technopolis Development Authority. The meeting brought together investors who have already signed up the space within the Technopolis.
The mission of Konza Technopolis Development Authority is to ensure the Technopolis grows into a sustainable, world-class technology hub and a major contributor to the economic growth, intellectual capacity, innovation, as well as research and development. Those are some of our key focus points. The key objective of this strategy is to develop and manage a world-class smart city with a vibrant, safe and secure, healthy, sustainable ecosystem with technology as its backbone. To achieve this, the government has committed Kenya shillings 80 billion to this project for the development of the core infrastructure in order to facilitate investments by the private sector. In addition, Konza has been designated as a special economic zone, the reason being to promote the uptake of investment and also give an opportunity to spur economic growth through information and communication technology.
Let's go to the farms where farmers have been pushed out of seeds breeding and forced to become consumers of non-renewable seeds sold by industries which are increasingly monopolizing the seed supply. These are the main reasons for which farmers have lost most of their traditional seeds. Farmers in Kiva have formed a cultural center to advocate for conservation of indigenous seeds. In the center, they are teaching community of the importance of traditional seeds. They maintain that indigenous food plants tend to be very nutritious and business-wise.
Na nini na maji. Kiposa unaona unang'ang'ana na hiyo shamba.
Leo tulikuwa tunakutania hapa kwa hii shamba yetu tumenunua kama kikundi ya Vamweki. Tulikuwa tunakutana ili tujue vile tunaweza kurudisha uhusiano wetu na mchanga na uhusiano wetu na mbegu zetu za kienyeji. Kwa sababu ile mbegu tunapanda ni mzuri sana kwa mili yetu. Tunapanda mbegu ile zetu za kienyeji kama mawele. Mawele wenyewe ni chakula mzuri sana. Na hiyo mawele inatusaidia sana kwa mili yetu.
And finally, let's have a look at the business roundup of the day with John Kutunyi.
Kenyan motorists will have to spend more on fuel prices starting today midnight. Petrol cost will be 97 cents up, while diesel shoots by 1 shilling and 12 cents per litre. Low-earning citizens are the ones to feel the most hit, with an increase in kerosene going for 1 shilling and 93 cents per litre. Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) has blamed the rise in cost to increase in costs incurred in purchasing crude oil globally. Regulators also attribute the weakening shilling that has continued to decline against the US dollar, signaling the tougher times ahead. Plans to construct a railway line linking Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to Nairobi city centre are back on track after Kenya secured 14 billion shillings loan from the French government. And finally, Kenyan banks are expected to experience more losses in the coming year as customers struggle to service their loan facilities. Uncertainty posed by an upsurge in COVID-19 cases will continue to slow down the economy as jobs and incomes get eroded. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Joan Kutun.
Definitely, that story by John Kutuni on the business roundup of the day brings us to the end of business news this Wednesday. Let's do this tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless and have a good night. Up next is sports news with Lincoln Wambugu.
And from the sports desk, Gor Mahia has fallen to Tusker FC after conceding 2-1 in a rescheduled Premier League match held this afternoon at the Kasarani Stadium. Henry Major and David Mijak were on target for the Brewers, while Kenneth Maguna netted a consoling goal for the defending champions.
Matokeo, coach lazima ina imani kila wakati. Na pia angalia vijana wako vile mali tumetoka na mali tumefika. Lazima ina ile imani na furaha kwa roho yako. So tumetrain vizuri, tumeprepare, tukaangalia. Mali tulianza vibaya, tukiimprove kidogo, sasa tuko sawa.
Tottenham Hotspur are set to face Premier League champions Liverpool in a top-of-the-table clash at Anfield tonight. Mourinho travels to Merseyside with his side sitting top of the Premier League on goal difference from Liverpool and unbeaten in the league since an opening day defeat at home to Everton. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp admits they will face one of the world's best counter-attacking teams as they head into the meeting, knowing victory will take them to the top of the Premier League.